Assalamu everyone, hope you all are going great and well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to the video. Welcome back to the lecture. So once again, I'm back with you guys. So if you're new, so don't forget to like, subscribe my YouTube channel, plus press the bell icon so that you get the notification of each and every video of mine and get notified by it. Okay, so if you want to know anything about English or math science, you can comment on any of my video. I'll go through it as soon as possible. So after a long time, I'm uploading the video, so that's why I'm gonna upload a lot of videos today, like as much as I can, because I have been absent for a long time, because I was having some family, consults. So that's why. So yeah, let's start it. So today we're gonna study about plant systems. So first of all, you should know what is an internal structure of a stem. So for one to study about the plant system, as previously I also uploaded a video regarding science where I told you about the types of system of a plant. So they were shoot system, root system. So today we're gonna study about stems. So yeah. So internal stem structure. So this is an internal structure of a stem. This is how stems looks like from inside. So there's something like this is there. Cambium is present there. This yellow one is the cambium, and there's a phloem. This blue part shows the phloem, and this the red part shows the xylem. It is present inside it, and the middle between part and these dots shows the pith, and there is also the epidermis, like this green outer covering known as the epidermis, and this you can see these green dots that are present around the boxes are known as the cortex. Okay, so we're going to study each of them one by one. So let's start. So first of all, coming towards epidermis, because it's the outermost covering, so we are going to go through epidermis first. Now epidermis, as I told you, it is used as a function of a plant where it helps. So it is the outermost covering or the thing or that part of a plant that covers something. So it protects the underlying tissues from mechanical injury. So any mechanical injury that happens or anything that's harmful for the plant, it tries to save the plant from that, and it prevents the entry of harmful organisms, like all the harmful germs, pathogens, or all the organisms that are harmful for the plant, or they can basically they can harm the plant. It basically tries to save the plant for that, and it does not allow them to enter. So this is the function, and this is what epidermis is. Then we are having, secondly, now let's go through cortex. Now what is a cortex? So this green part near these green parts near the boxes of phloem and xylem is basically, it serves as for storage of food. Now here the food that is prepared, that is stored in it. So it have one works as, or its function is to store the food. So it basically stores the food. This is the function of it. Then we're having a pith. So this in the middle you can see these dots in this large organism. So these is basically the pith. So it stores food materials, and it stores food materials and help in internal translocation of water. So basically it performs two functions. Basically, here pit performs two functions. It also stores food materials, as well as cortex, it also stores food materials and helps in the internal translocation of water. So the translocation of water from inside the body, we're not talking about the internal external part, we're talking about the internal part. So it basically helps in the internal translocation of water as well. Okay, then we are having cambium. Now what is cambium? So it's present between phloem and xylem in the stem structure. Okay, so now what is does is like, it produces layers of xylem and phloem, and like it basically produces layers of xylem and phloem. It's present between them, and it produces their layers, consequently enhancing the stem's diameter. So now it basically enhance the stem's diameter, and whatever is the stem's diameter, enhance that. Then we're having the xylem. Now what is xylem? So now xylem, basically vascular bundles. Now xylem and phloem together are known as vascular bundles. This is a point to ponder, and this is a thing point to be noted as well, that phloem and xylem, whenever you're going to talk about them together, you're going to say vascular bundles. Now provide strength and support to the plant. Now this is a function of both of them. They provide strength and support to the plant. Now they provide strength as well and the support to the plant. They're responsible for the transport of materials. Now xylem is responsible for the transport of water and minerals, and phloem is responsible for the transportation of food. Okay, Now, as a whole, this is the internal stem structure. Then we're having leaves. So the main functions of leaves is our photosynthesis, exchange of gases, and transpiration. So these are the main functions of leaves. Now, what are the main functions of leaves? If someone asks you, you should know that the main functions of leaves are that they are used in the process of photosynthesis, then in the exchange of gases, and then in transpiration. So these are the three main functions of leaves. Now, coming towards internal structure of a leaf. Now, you should know what is the internal structure of a leaf. So, petiole, the thin stalk with leaf with which leaf is attached to the stem is called petiole. The petiole is commonly known as a leaf stalk. So, this is basically the petiole. Let me show you the petiole. So this is basically the petiole. Okay, so this is basically it's attached to a leaf to hold a leaf. Okay, so it's work as a leaf stalk. So you can say it petiole or a leaf stalk. Both are the correct ways of pronouncing it. Then lamina. Now, what is a lamina? The lamina is the flat and greased part of the leaf with veins and mainlets. Now, lamina is commonly known as a leaf blade. So, commonly known word for lamina is leaf blade. So, whenever someone is going to say this is a leaf blade, you can also say that yeah, it is a lamina. When someone says that it's a leaf stalk, you can say that it's a petiole. So, this looks more vibrant and more, more into the words that are already used. There are something different from them. Okay, so then the photosynthesis process occurs on this part of the green leaf. Now here you can see this lamina. So the photosynthesis process is done on lamina. Okay, this is a part in which photosynthesis is done. Okay, then the main veins or the midrib. Now, the main vein is like the backbone of the smaller vein to transport important nutrients from these two different parts of the plant. And this is it's the backbone of the smaller vein. So you can say that the main vein is basically the backbone of the smaller vein. And what did it do is they transport important nutrients from leaves to the other parts, like the more important nutrients that are needed by the other parts of the body. They transport them. Okay. So here you can see this main vein. Okay, and then midrib and veins provide support to the leaf. Now this is also the vein section. These are the veins, these are the midribs. So they provide support to the leaf. They contain vascular bundles to transport substances from the leaf to and from the leaf. That means that they have phloem and xylem, vascular bundle. And what do they do is they transport the substances from to and from the leaf. Okay. Then internal structure of a leaf. Now internal structure of leaf, each leaf consists of the following layers. You should know this. So first of all, here you can see this is the internal structure of a leaf. So first of all, in a leaf there is epidermis. It's most important thing. Okay, whether it's leaf, root, stem, they have epidermis for the protection. So it's the outermost layer and secretes a waxy substance called the cuticle. So cuticle is present inside it. So it basically secretes a waxy substance. Now you should know what type of substance is cuticle. It's a waxy substance. The cuticle helps retain water inside the leaf cells. Now it helps just to stay or to let the water stay inside the leaf cells. The epidermis houses the guard cells which regulate the movement of water into and outside the cell. Now they basically regulate the water movement, okay, inside and outside of the cell. Now guard cells do so by controlling the size of the pores, also called stomata. So how do guard cells do that? So the guard cells do that so by controlling the size of the pores. Now this control the size of the pores. Which pores? Stomata. They control the stomata. Here you guys can see. Okay, then mesophyll. Now what is mesophyll? After coming to know what is epidermis, you should know what is mesophyll. Now this forms the middle layer of the leaf. It is differentiated into two layers depending on the type of cell found. Now it depends on the type of cell that which layer is gonna be working on that. Now pellicid and spongy mesophyll layers. Now it is a layer where chlorophylls are found. That in this we find a chloroplasts. Now chloroplasts are cell organelles that contain chlorophyll, which is required for photosynthesis. You should know this, that what are chloroplasts? These are green pigment that have chlorophyll present in them, and they are required for chlorophyll required for photosynthesis. Now the vascular tissue of the leaf are contained by in the irregularly arranged spongy mesophyll cells. Now the vascular tissues where of the leaf, where are they stored? They contain the irregularly arranged spongy mesophills. Now they are irregularly arranged. This is also given to you. Okay, Vascular tissue. The vascular tissue is actually found in the veins of the leaf. So they are found in the veins of the leaf. So if anyone asks you where is the vascular tissue found, is when found in the veins of the leaf. The vascular tissues are composed of xylem and phloem, that means vascular bundles, are responsible for transport of water and food, that I already told you. So vascular tissue, vascular bundles, it's the same thing. Now, transportation in plants. Now, definition of transportation. What is it? So, transportation is a process that involves the movement of water and okay, so transportation is a process that involves the movement of water. Now, here the movement of water is very important. It means xylem and necessary nutrients for all the parts of the plant for survival. So, this is basically known as transportation. So, they require both xylem and phloem. Now, there are two types of conducting tissues that perform the function of transport system in plants. Now, what are they? Xylem and phloem. So, they are conducting tissues. Okay? Then transport of water and minerals. So plants need water to make food through the process. So plants need water to make food through the process of water, and this is the mineral for making proteins. Now here plants need water and food, but it's very necessary for that. Now food through the process of photosynthesis and minerals for making proteins. Okay, now thus the plants absorb water and minerals from soil through roots and transport it to other parts like stem, leaves, flower, etc. So basically here you should know that plants basically absorb water and minerals from the soil. Now from where do plants get water and minerals? From the soil. From where? Through roots. By which thing? By roots. And what they do to it, they basically transport that to stem, leaves, flower, whatever part of the plant where it's needed. Now xylem. Xylem vessel is a long tube made up of dead cells joined together by end by end. So this is basically what xylem is. So basically it's a long tube which by which things it's made up of? It's made up of dead cells joined by end to end. They are joined end to end. It's a non-living tube which runs from roots of the plant through the stem and reaches every leaf. Now they basically run from the root of the stem and they basically reach to every leaf. The ends of the cells of the are broken and so that an open tube is formed. So due to which an open tube is formed. Now xylem vessels do not have cytoplasm or nuclei of the walls of the vessels are made up of ligulose or lignin. Other than transporting water and mineral, xylem vessel also provides strength to the stem and keep it upright. It is because lignin is very hard and strong. Wood is made up of lignified xylem vessels. Xylem vessels have pits in their cells walls where lignin is not deposited. Now, phloem. The photosynthetic plants synthesize their food mainly in the green leaves. Now, where do they synthesize the food? In the green leaves mainly. This food or photosynthesis move to all parts of the plant through phloem tissue in upward, downward, and lateral direction, like multi-directional transport. So it can be in different directions. The transport can be in different directions, means of transport. So diffusion is a process where solid, liquid, or gases move passively without energy expenditure from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration through a space available. Like the space that is available, they move from that space. So in a plant, many substances move from one part of the cell to the other part of the cell or from cell to cell. Now it can be different. They can move from one part of the cell to other part of the cell, or they can move from cell to cell or over short distances by process of diffusion. So then since diffusion is a slow process, the diffusing particles move slowly across a concentration gradient in a random fashion without any energy expenditure. So they move like in a random fashion. Okay, so different types of particles can diffuse simultaneously through the same space. Carbon dioxide from the surrounding environment produced as a byproduct of respiration is used for photosynthesis in the leaves, during which oxygen is also released. The short distance gaseous movement of carbon dioxide and oxygen within the plant parts and between the plant and its environment occurs solely by diffusion as well. Now, transportation of water and minerals. Now, roots of plants have tiny outgrowths called root hairs, which through which water and dissolved mineral salt enter. Now, the root hairs increase the surface area for absorption of water and mineral salts. So, the roots absorb water from the soil by a process called osmosis, which I have already told you. So, osmosis is a process of passage of water over short distances from an area where it's more to an area where it's low across a cell membrane, which is semi-permeable. Then the root cells continuously absorb water and mineral salts from the soil. Some of the excess water absorbed by roots is lost as water vapor through stomata in the leaves by transpiration. This generates a suction pull which takes water to great heights in tall trees. Transpiration also cools the plant. Okay, now here you can see A and B before water, then solute molecules, and then after what happen after osmosis, now selectively permeable membranes take place. Now transport in plants. So our view the transport in plants. So firstly what happens, that root absorb water and minerals. Then what happens, xylem transports water and minerals up from leaves. Then what happens, that water loss via transpiration pulls water in xylem upward, and then leaves take in carbon dioxide via stomata, uses carbon dioxide and water to make food. Via photosynthesis release oxygen. Now phloem transports sugar to other parts of the plant. Roots take in oxygen needed for circular respiration and releases carbon dioxide. So this is it for this lecture. So I'm going to upload a lot of videos today, so stay tuned for that. Bye bye, take care, and Allah Hafiz everyone.